Like, you know, it's only been one part, but it's just been kind of a while. So it was Feliz ban on Brax's, GLuck ban on Dragonshire, and it looks like our next pick coming up
Towers of Doom
is going to be Towers of Doom. I'm hoping that at least we get maybe a Volskaya a little bit later on. That map is very underrepresented.
I know you want it, but I'm gonna have to say I don't think we're gonna get it.
I doubt it. I heavily doubt that that'll be coming through. But it is gonna be Towers of Doom coming through for our next map. I call this the Yuan Merlot map because Towers of Doom spells its ID Todd.
Yeah, every time I write it on my like draft sheet, it is TOD with like the capital D.
Yeah.
Not today though. I actually spelled it all the way out. Sorry,
well played, Wolf. And the draft is going to look pretty much exactly the same. I do think we're going to see another early Rainer ban because I think at this level it's a little bit too strong unless teams are well coordinated enough to counter it accurately with picks. So
yeah, I mean, Aimer was trying his best to kill the Hanzo. Killing the Rainer can be similar, but Rainer has more survivability if you're trying to run the Tracer again, like Feliz has been running so much this season. So I like a Rainer ban, but they go for the Maiev, changing it up a little bit here.
So I think this is the exact same ban sequence they had.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was the switched sides.
Right. And I think this is still going to be the Rainer, and then we'll move forward with maybe a Malfurion first pick. And
I feel like Feliz should be more concerned about the Rainer than GLuck should, but maybe they just don't want to deal with it. Sorry to cut you off on that.
No, I'm always kind of curious what the team's mentality is, because amongst like the top teams, you're starting to see it get let through, and Zeratul ban. Okay, I would not have expected, like, you know, maybe this is HGC Europe, then okay, I get it, right? You ban the Zeratul because it's very popular.
I mean, Abathur is left open, so that always creates a situation where Abathur Zeratul can become a terrifying thing. And so I guess that's something that they were considering. Also, Zeratul's always been popular on this map for his ability to delay tributes, roam, and also clear camps quickly. But the Tracer's up. I don't think they want to run it. That's something that Feliz would prefer. And they leave it open again. Same Hanzo pick, same Blaze pick. I mean, the drafts look
I mean, we
very
could
similar.
actually just see exactly the same drafts. I would be a little bit surprised. I also do want to see what the Rainer factor looks like. Is it a ban phase 2 Rainer? Is it a last pick Rainer that you build a sneaky comp around and your opponents hopefully don't notice it? I want to see if Feliz go back for Garrosh again, and no, they will not. It'll be a Muradin for the tank and getting that Dahaka, who may not be able to do a whole lot with Blaze directly, but will have that global advantage.
Yeah, it's a more mobile composition with this. Obviously, Garrosh is somewhat lives and dies on his armor and his support while looking to do a lot of frontline CC, whereas Muradin can escape, can tank a lot of damage, then get healed up on his own, so the support doesn't actually need to mess with him. So Rainer may just be the secondary ban like you were talking about. It's a safe ban, but they banned the Tracer instead, so kind of showing the stylistic color here, again, of Feliz. And even though we saw several survives there on the Hanzo, on the side of GLuck, like, survival continued to occur despite the Tracer's best attempts to kill him. He doesn't want to deal with it. I mean, there were a few close calls there. Why not just remove it?
Just really annoyed at this point. It's like, come on, guys. I played really well, but I don't want to have to do that again.
The other thing about Tracer, too, on this map is, with the new changes, well, it's not that new, but with the somewhat recent changes to mercenary camps not hitting unless you stand on the circles, Tracer can solo camps while building Pulse Bomb, and that's what she's used a lot for on this map, so she doesn't have to, like, riskily farm hitting heroes. She just goes to the Sapper camp, does them on her own. Takes a while. Obviously, someone will eventually come and help her, but she could use those to build Pulse Bomb. Very common pick for her this map. But ETC Rainer is a thing. I think we're going to see Ace in the hole. We got a lot of stuns, slows here.
So on the other side, you're going to look for Feliz to say, okay, well, we need a way to deal with that. Burst and CC are both two ways to get it done. And they go for kind of the burst route with a Limbing Falstad. So they're going to have both Falstad and Dahaka for double globals on Feliz and may try to just play around where Rainer isn't.
It's true. They also have really good ways to deal with Mosh Pit. Like, if Malfurion takes Twilight Dream, which I don't think he will in this case, but if he did, like, each hero can interrupt Mosh Pit.
Wow.
So there's that. Deckard Cain is going to be for the slows for Roderick Cube, which will work well with Ace in the Hole for Rainer, as well as the Scroll of Sealing, which can just basically give Raynor base 20% extra damage by default with his level 1 talent.
Yep, that is of course the scroll that you throw upward. If you threw it downward, it would be the scroll of floor.
Yeah, definitely true.
And that's going to do it for our second draft, guys. We are moving on into game number 2.
To be honest,
that guy laughed at my joke.
Yeah, that's Myson, man. He thinks it's funny.
I was pointing at all of them collectively, and
All
maybe
right.
even some of our audience members who are generally in the direction of the area that I pointed
They
to.
could be listening to English Cast, you never know.
That's true.
But to be honest, when you said that, I had no idea what you meant. I was just like, well, I'm going to be supportive. And then a few seconds later, it kicked in.
That's working as planned. My jokes, as always, esports ready, just like Here's the Storm. So we're getting into it, and I want to say that Feliz, you know, they got to turn it around here. In GLuck's game versus, what was it, Supernova, you know,
Yeah.
game 2 was like the big comeback, right? And I was like, wow, you know, maybe they can do it. I got all optimistic, and I was rewarded in the end. But, you know, Feliz are looking for a kind of a similar situation here against GLuck to maybe stop some momentum from getting built. I don't know what this is going to look like just because, you know, we haven't seen these two teams in their current iteration come out. For GLuck, when I saw them come into this season, you know, we had that big kind of career and roster apocalypse before this phase. And I was like, okay, well, you know, GLuck really struggled last season. I don't know what they're going to look like this season, but they're starting to turn it around.
Well, Overlord is going to go for Ace in the Hole. No surprise. He is also going for like the default Raynor skin and the default horse, which is basically just saying like
he's never played this hero before.
Yeah, I just did the tutorial. Like I just did try me of Raynor after the tutorial, and then I bought him, and I'm playing quick match now. So please don't be
mean.
please don't be mean. Please don't be angry. Now, if you'll notice, Raynor, he has an older portrait, so his portrait isn't really like ETC's meant for the new esports UI. But his chin is still covered.
That's true.
I think the devs knew all along that non-support heroes' chins just have to be covered.
Well, in truth, when you look at, you know, NASA skins, which is, or like NASA's like astronaut skins, I'm going to call them that for their
Spacesuits, yeah.
You know, there are physical reasons and limitations why you have to like have a small viewport there.
Yeah.
And obviously, Raynor's skin, his marine suit is modeled after that. But there is actually no reason why it has to be that big and clunky. So clearly designed specifically to have that coverage with the lack of chins that we see.
Ooh, this is a nice power slide, by the way.
Yeah, trying to stop Roxer.
They need to
zoning
commit
out.
faster, though.
There's that scroll. Does lock down 3, I think, at the end. Roxer, he really wishes he could get through the wall there, but recognizes that the danger has been mitigated.
Overlord's like, I didn't get to do any damage with all that, with all the CCs there. Just got down. That was a 3v4 they almost won.
Yep.
So
now
they had more presence on the map, too, while all this was happening.
Yeah, jet propulsion saving down up there. Meanwhile, the when all is said and done, the big victory there is not only going to come from the lack of a hero dying, but also from being able to push those sappers in and take down the bottom for the wall.
Well, in this top lane matchup, obviously it can be pretty Blaze favored, but whenever you get a hook like that, the tongue grab makes you feel like you're playing a real game, like you're not just getting bullied. It's going to be the triple altar, of course, here now, and OJ is really trying to gain a vision advantage here. Any other tank would just be abused by this and would actually just have a rough time, but Muradin does regen health so quickly after being out of combat that he can actually just stand here and be totally cool with it. Can feel that he's an old hero, though, by looking at his mana bar. Like any hero coming out on the alpha, the beta, or the early release is just like, sorry, it's 2018 Muradin, like, go hit a well, dude, and you're out of mana.
Yeah, he gets a few casts and has to go back and maybe find a fountain or something. But either way,
Malf, Malf, hey, can you hit me? Can you hit me up?
hit me up. Give me that. What is it? It's
Innervate.
Innervate. That's true. Only gives 1 mana instead of 2 now, but still a good card. Either way, catching out Roxer as he tries to zone and help GLuck look for an altar cap of their own. I don't think it's going to be a big surprise on either side, but I don't know what does the correct setup look like here for GLuck?
I mean, the correct setup is really just to look for your CC to give Raynor massive damage. Obviously, he's going to even trend upwards with his build as he goes into 13 and 16, for example. And obviously, after he gets his Banshees. Excuse me. This is a one map where I think it can make the case for Hyperion. But they just want to kind of play around the tank line. And every time they delay, they can actually send Raynor mid. And Raynor's going to push so hard with his Inspire. Obviously, he doesn't inspire minions anymore after his rework, or he'd be pushing even harder. But like he can push hard solo. So they're just kind of threatening here, and then he can come down, look for some big damage.
Eventually, Roxor's auto attacks will actually kill OJ. It took about half of his health almost just through those auto attacks.
Nice grab.
Yeah, now a nice grab onto Roxor, and even Maizen getting pushed back by OJ. These are some actual significant, this is some actually significant damage being done. And oh, Maizen, oh my god, how did he live? What a god.
Show me that hit point bar.
He's so
He was at like 12.
good at that. Yeah, it was almost single digits there for a second. He does live, but he will be very vulnerable. He's going to try to enter back into the fight here, but I mean, Feliz are doing a great job zoning off it. No! Okay, Asgard, justice is served there, and that'll be the first casualty of war here. Feliz drawing first blood when they need it the most.
Yeah, I think it's time to stop delaying. I think it's time to just give this one up. You've already taken a big loss. You're not gaining a macro advantage because you don't have global heroes, so just let Feliz have this. You've already delayed far enough. It's okay, still ahead in experience very slightly. And, you know, with the early death timers, this is not the end of the world by any means for GLuck. So now, for the top lane, you know, Hanatan's back up here. Surprise, surprise, so is Asgard. Quick respawn. And we're just going to see continued fighting down here in the bottom lane in the 4-man. The kind of off lane ends up being the Raynor versus Li Ming. Falstad helping out in this case. But it's kind of interesting because double globals, yeah, I was going to say, you have to use them to be aggressive in this early game, otherwise you're not getting much value out of it.
Trying to block against the jet propulsion. Can't do it as Overlord comes up to dissuade the engage. Still kind of a cool way to use that double global. I think most of the time I expect that to be used elsewhere on the map instead of trying to come in for you know, the Falstad gank. We don't have heroics yet, so there's no chance for like a gust backwards. But either way, now pushing down onto this bottom bell tower. OJ getting stunned up there, but I think Liu is actually the one most vulnerable here.
Well, he actually got away like with everything. Like he basically got away with murder with this. He does finally die.
Have GLuck kind of overextended here? I think Maizen's trapped up against the wall.
He needs to jump. I don't think he has one. He's going to get caught here. Aimer's going to get double resets.
Ooh.
And that was like, I think that GLuck could have engaged on that a lot better and then killed Liu faster, but it's one of those things I have to go back and watch, but I think that Deckard could have waited to use his cube, the first cube he used, and then used it at a better moment. Either way, it's a trade, but it's a positive trade for Feliz. Because Dahaka was not getting any extra soak during that time, GLuck still gets 10 first. They're going to go for the Banshee. Raynor's Raider solo.
That's right. No, no S on there.
Well, I thought Raynor's Raider was about commitment. I thought it was about something real. Why is there only one Banshee now?
No, it turns out joining Raynor's Raiders is just a lie. There's no honor in there. Bunker comes down. It's a nice save for Roxor, but oh, the sick catch off of Stay a While delays OJ and Hanatan just enough for more kills to start coming through for GLuck. Now, I mean, Hanatan was trying to land a grab to try to turn this one around, but I don't think there's any hope in salvaging this. Feliz take a straight up loss to GLuck. A big win to push into the spell tower again. No way! Okay, Maizen.
That's just forgetting that Hanzo has more. He's got more damage than you expect,
yeah,
I guess.
Storm Arrow's pretty cool ability there. Wow, that's a little unfair.
Well, that's an early bell tower plus the extra shot because they got it right before they take this. They're still behind in core health, but this is a huge momentum swing because the bell tower draws so much attention away. They're going to even steal this sapper camp. Sonic Arrow makes it an easy retreat. Dudu might also find out how much damage Hanzo does, no matter how many times they nerf him. Tracer nerfed again, by the way. I think with her nerf that was announced 2 days ago, she's been nerfed 39 times since release.
Oh my goodness.
No, I just made that up, but like it feels that way.
Well, it does feel that way. Tracer's balance is kind of like bunker health.
It's I mean, to be realistic with you guys, it's probably closer to like 57, but sorry for undershooting.
Somebody count the number of times Tracer has been nerfed and tweeted at Wolf, and we'll make this the interactive part of our
I don't want to
HGC
see
project.
I don't want to see anyone tweeting at me that it was only like 8 times. Come on.
Yeah, it's If somebody tweets at Wolf that it was like 419 plus 1 times, we're not going to believe you. Sorry about that.
All right, well, Roxer is continuing to keep this alive. They're escorting this push in. They got the boss as well. Like, GLuck has taken total control. All it takes is one bell tower, and then the enemy team has to commit, or they're just always going to be playing from the back foot vision-wise. But if they do commit, they're fighting under a fort, so they have problems.
Yeah, trying to escort those sappers in. A good job at blocking them out, so Feliz does not take any more hits to their core. Things are basically even as far as that health is concerned. And so if Feliz is going to hold on here, push out, retake that bell tower, we might see things kind of even out, but that would take a lot to ask from Feliz.
Yeah, I mean, they lose control of the bell tower. They stop the... Okay, this is a good win here. Asgard is almost certainly going to die. Arrow comes through, actually. Maybe I'm wrong.
God,
he goes for the sun.
Really going to turn this around?
Oh my God,
Stage time!
Asgard goes down here. There's a reset for Aimer. But this fight's not over yet.
That's so sick. So I did not expect to see a counter global in this game, honestly, Wolf. But it actually looks really sick. Now, KCB taking a lot of pain here. OJ on top in Avatar. But I think this actually might be a great opportunity for Feliz to kind of make GLuck pay a little bit for that turnaround.
Yeah, they didn't quite get the damage they were looking for there. Overlord getting so much extra passive damage from his level 1 ace in the hole from all these slows and stuns and roots. Just the slows and stuns, actually.
Yeah.
There were no roots. But ends up, you know, not getting the damage he was looking for. Was close to turning that around. The bell tower is still in control by GLuck right now. And while this is taken back from Feliz, guess what? They're pushing mid, so they can try to look for, you know, and when the opportunity arises, a second bell tower. They're not going to be able to get it this fast in time. Daka couldn't rush down here, so they have to respect that and have to back away. That's right, Banshee, you too.
It's true. There's a command.
Just because you're flying doesn't mean that you're special. It doesn't mean that you don't have to back away.
No, Rainer, there's that invisible leash kind of yanking it back. I think there is actually a bench you can come out, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I have to stay a while. I don't know if GLuck want to stay a while here. A great delay tactic to allow Maizen to reposition. He's vulnerable. He's still alive back in the back.
Look at Overlord's damage when he hits people, by the way, with auto attacks. It's pretty nasty, especially when he crits. It's not really a crit, but when he gets his third auto attack, it acts like a crit. Bell tower again under fire here. This time the sappers are going to crash into it, so guess what? They're going to get it.
Yeah. Overlord giving even the bell tower some pepper. And
that's right.
What does the bell tower do with pepper? Why are you just giving that away? You know, they say nothing in life is free, Wolf, but apparently the pepper that Trainer gives away.
I always thought bell towers were better with a little bit of soy sauce and wasabi personally.
No, we haven't upgraded that to giving anybody some soy sauce. That'll, of course, be the next StarCraft hero.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm excited to play white main soon, by the way.
That is true. The first time I heard that, just because I'm not a huge lore aficionado, I was like, okay, come on. Then I was like, oh, wait, that's actually, yeah, going to be it. So I'm pretty excited for that. I think most of the newer heroes have been actually very, very competitively viable. So I'm expecting the same from white main, and we'll see how it does change things up. Although I don't think we're going to have that for Eastern Clash or anything like that.
No, definitely not.
Nothing to worry about for the time being.
Going to be a while away. Everyone's going to have time to figure out practice scrim. Well, they're looking to just control this bell tower. Obviously, the sappers are already dead, but just controlling the bell tower, the bottom bell tower, that's what you do. Isolation committed to it here. Asgard again gets the bunker off. Stage dive, going to make it easier for him to escape. Power slide will guarantee that escape.
Swing Bada. Some other game's going to have Dragon Zero in it now. So if you get hit by one, that.
Yeah, if it comes up from the bottom, it's because this is actually, what's the word for this? Is it Mobius? I don't know. Like we're in like a different universe right now. Okay, OJ diving in. Look at that swift jump over by Maizen. He was now gonna have to turn on to Hanaten though.
I think Hanaten, I mean, he does have the burrow, right? So he'll be able to delay damage for a little bit longer. Trait will heal him back up pretty significantly. And actually, great amounts of healing put down by Malfurion. This is why you see that be so effective. It looks a little bit like maybe a Stukov plus It's just like, well, everybody's just healing a whole lot over time.
Yeah, I mean, what you could do with Deckard, obviously, is similar as well, just dropping those potions down. And over time, everyone does get a lot of healing. Overlord's already had to pop his heal. He's going to go down,
Jimmy.
gets caught by the root.
And now Myzen. Poor Myzen, his fate perhaps the same. Aimer's down.
Myzen like wants to do damage, man. He's like, nah, I'm not turning around. He's like, what? You guys think you could 3v2 us? I am Hanzo.
Hell no. So he stays out of there. Asgard, he was trying for the retake.
They're not done with this, by the way. They got the teleport in here from ETC with the stage dive.
Whoa!
GLuck is like,
oh my god. Aimer, like how salty, how much revenge is that worth? Like he definitely was feeling something. Goes in again, connects for a lot of damage on a Roxer. KCB with the instant disengage. Now, oh, Gus perfectly right that little nook and cranny. And that is, yes, in fact, 2 kills. That was an excellent prediction, Wolf. I don't know how you did that.
I mean, I see the game in like 1s and 0s, you know.
That's true. All I'm trying to say is that when you have to cast, or like when you need to cast, you don't have to.
Well, when I see like when there's a pause, I see the game in like 3s and 2s, but otherwise it's like it's 1s and 0s. Asgard gets caught here, but I think he should be fine. Dudu can't catch him. They're gonna be able to get a boss off this. They retake the bell tower. They've taken back control of the map. So we're in a game now that I would say is almost dead even. Feliz is down on core health, but they have a slight lead towards 20. But I mean, those two things almost cancel each other out because they're not. Neither of those things is massively significant. The experience is usually actually the most important thing, and Feliz is leading in that. But I can turn around very quickly, especially with the comp that GLuck is running. As long as they don't get ahead of themselves and like dive into the enemy territory with a 2v3 situation, like what we were seeing from Ford just a moment ago, or actually Myzen, I think it was just a moment ago, then yeah, I think they can stabilize here.
All I'm trying to say is I've seen time and time again. In the series that GLuck won, it was because Kirisaku got caught out twice in a row and kind of threw the game a little bit there. In the series that Gen G lost against Miracle, it was because Rich got caught out like 3 times in a row and lost the game a couple of times. And I was like, okay, well, I'm starting to see maybe a little bit of a trend here as well, with Jimmy kind of walking into a Stormbolt, dying pretty instantly in that last fight. If it happens again, I think it's going to look a little bit similar.
Roxer barely gets out of here. They're going to have to use this bunker. Can they engage off of it? Roxer's super low, gets the power slide, but doesn't hit anybody.
OJ, I think, got maybe stunned up a little bit there at the end, but either way, Roxer does survive, and that's the big deal. A pick attempt, and it looked like it was going to happen, but another great save by the bunker. No bunker there to save Jimmy.
Okay, Roxer, another power slide here. They've got to be careful of Aimer's damage, but if OJ goes down, they can actually continue to push this through, but he's getting healed up so much by Malfurion, his trait coming through as well here. Second wind, plus his, just large health pool means he lives. GLuck wants more here, but last time they tried to take a fight like this, it went really poorly. Hanzo dies. What? I don't know how or where. Okay. I guess probably just by a leaping combo.
That's a characteristic reserved for Junkrats and Hanzo. The ability to spontaneously combust at any moment, anywhere on the map. And boom goes the dynamite. One less cow out on the map. A little bit questionable bunker there. I think that was a little inevitable. Asgard.
This is looking like we're going to a game 2 where we're tied up 1-1.
Yeah, it does. That's a great call there, Wolf.
I think GLuck is just really dropping the ball in a lot of ways. I don't know if they're looking for style points. I don't know if they feel desperate when they're behind. Yeah, and they were behind in experience, but they were not behind enough to where they needed to try to make crazy plays like that. Like I feel like I'm watching a EuroLeague game right now in a lot of ways. Feliz is just like, well, I mean, if you're gonna try to do these crazy things, like we will just take the defensive advantage that we have, take it a good engage, get 20, take a bell tower. Like GLuck was behind, but now they're massively behind. Like now this is almost an unwinnable game. They still don't have 20, they're not even halfway there. And they will live with 1 core health if both of these go to Feliz.
I think that's very likely, Wolf. You can see Raynor went mid to try to just desperately get any experience, trying to hit 20. Because fighting without that heroic advantage is just going to be a very difficult thing to ask. A grab onto Rock, so he's tanky enough to escape for now, but actually OJ the one in the most trouble as he has to toss himself back out to safety. Duda gets one, and potentially could just rotate down and get a second altar.
Well, they want to wait for these sappers. If any of these sappers go through, you can just win with it. It's going to take the sappers first as well, that are to the right side, the red side sappers, and then rotate down. If a single one of those go through, like, these can win the game off this moment. Doesn't happen that way. Good defense here for GLuck. Well, they're just keeping this altar alive, and in just a moment, we're going to see yet again the altar channeled, and if one of these sappers goes through, they win the game. So, Falstad did take Epic Melt instead of Wind Tunnel. Had he taken Wind Tunnel, he might have just been able to Wind Tunnel everyone away from the sappers, and then they just win the game. There's just 1 4 health left. Either way, it's a bad situation for GLuck. A Gust can do just the same thing. Look at Dudu's positioning. He's looking for it. He wants to Gust them right before the sappers come through. They have to wait for this fast.
Looking for it. There's the lockdown. The CC comes through. A nice attempt at stay a while.
Just.
The bunker's there. Is this a turnaround? Dudu, he's still alive. I'm waiting for him to go for it. He does, but it's just not impactful. And okay, that's a swing and a miss on the Dragon's Arrow, and that actually could have been exactly what GLuck needed, but it missed.
Okay, now they get the tongue grab here onto Overlord. He's dead. And this is not the moment where they win the game, just simply because there's no way to end it at the moment, but they win the wipe.
The morale killer.
Yeah.
Grabbed there on a KCB who will fall.
They actually have enough time to get the boss here. They could have also possibly, if the boss not been up, gotten both top and mid bell towers to get the final shot that way. It's a choose your own adventure at this point for GLuck. They're going to choose the boss because they don't like the Headless Horseman. He has a head, though. I don't know why he's called that.
Also, in truth, there are ways to lose choose your own adventure, and there's no way that Feliz will lose this game.
GG. They will tie us up 1-1. A lot of major decision-making mistakes on the side of GLuck through that mid-game and the late game that cost them a game that was massively in their favor. They controlled the altar in the bot lane for the majority of the game. Usually when you see